Hello, welcome to the Health and Wellness Talk session with Anil Grover, who is a certified functional medicine practitioner from School for Applied Functional Medicine and also from Institute of Integrative Nutrition. And I am Preeti Ayappan. I am a nutrition and lifestyle coach. So today we are here to share some valuable healthcare lessons and guidance for those who are ready and keen to learn more about functional medicine and nutrition. So, in this program, we will look at the role of nutrition in functional medicine approach.
Thank you, Preeti, and warm welcome to everyone. I'm sure that we can definitely fulfill what Preeti just said, that give all of you lots of easy education and information where you can put it into practice and just see the results from your own change and getting more healthy and happy. That's the aim, and that's what we will do. So let's begin, just saying something about what is functional medicine. So functional medicine is where we like to heal someone by looking at the whole picture in a holistic way, aggregate way, where the person's lifestyle, relationships, his nutrition, his activity, belief system, everything is taken into account so that we can get layer by layer into the roots, and from the roots eradicate, remove the cause of the problem so that the healing is sustainable and forever, because the human body made by the gift of God, let us say nature, God, is designed to be healthy.
Yes.
So if something goes wrong, it means that maybe we have gone against the flow of nature. We ourselves have stepped into the flow of nature and blocked the functioning, some disturbances. So just to remove it, and it falls back into a state of health. So let's look at this slide so that I can help you understand it better. So these are the concepts of functional medicine. Basic ones, so very quickly we'll go through so that you understand that what also is involved to heal or proactively to be very healthy. Often we see that we talk only about one aspect of our health problem, but the blue part you can see interconnected biochemistry. Everything in our body is interconnected. For example, my nervous system. If my attitude is such that I get very tense, very nervous, that we all know that has an effect on our digestion. A school kid going to school for exams, not ready, they have cramps. We get some information sometimes, phone call in the middle of the night, and suddenly we feel that panic and cramp, and shivering in our legs. So our legs need shivering, and a phone call information, how is it connected? The biochemistry is connected. In the biochemistry, let's say there are different classes, sections, immune system. We are also concerned nowadays about our immunity, our nervous system, our digestion, our detoxification, our metabolism, which makes energy for us, the system, and endocrine system, the hormones, the hormones which send signals all over the body. So if one thing is affected in milliseconds, everything will be affected. So it would be wrong just to look at one aspect to rectify it. We have to see it's connected to everything. And secondly, every human being's experience is as per his lifestyle. So his healing is going to be unique. Unique means, that would mean customized. If a person really comes to us and says, I have this problem, we have to, if we really want to guide him and heal him, we have to get into the layers, open up everything and see, especially for him, where it's important to handle first, second, third, step by step, and so that he's back to his normal healthy state. So it's unique. Just one concept technique for everyone will not work for sustainable healing. And to remember that, we often come across situations where we say, oh no, I've got cancer. Oh no, I've been diagnosed with diabetes or cardiovascular disease. Before any disease shows up, the functional medicine concept will say that there will always be dis-ease. I'm not at ease. There's some uneasiness in the body. There is some blockages. There are some pains. There are some tiredness, fatigue, digestion issues carrying on for many years, and it's not showing up as a diagnosis, so no one is bothering much. Everyone just says it's okay, never mind, it's okay, take it easy, don't be stressed. But body is sending signals. This ease could be my weight. If my weight is not the correct weight, something is wrong. So only then, after many years, it shows up as a disease. So then the normal system goes after the disease. But if you want to heal the person, you have to go back into seeing the causes which came up. Everything has to be resolved underneath for the top part showing wrong to be automatically to fall into place. So the healing has to take place like in layers. We may need rapid relief from pain medications, that's wonderful, but we have to peel the layers, let's say of a cabbage, one layer, second layer, third layer, till you get right into it and resolve over there, then everything falls into place. After you have done all that also, still if the person's lifestyle habits don't change, it still falls back to the old habits of, let's say, eating very late, lots of drinking, whole day sitting in the office, not moving around, same situation will come back. So for a person to be back in good health and a person to maintain good health, not get sick, we have to see it aggregating in the complete whole form. That is functional medicine approach.
What I understood from this slide. Okay, so it was crystal clear for me that all individuals are unique. Each person is different from each other. And I also understood that, like, if you have any kind of dis-ease in your body, it means that the body is trying to tell you something. The body is constantly talking to us, and we should not ignore those small talks. And because later on it can build up to something else. And the other thing. Yes, and the other thing is that when it comes to functional medicine, we go into the bottom of the root cause, any underlying issues. We just, we kind of try to see the interconnection between all the issues and try to correct the disease from the root cause. And afterwards, like when everything is sorted, also Anil was explaining that the lifestyle has to be good for you to have a sustainable and a healthy life. And because, once everything is said, doesn't mean that we go back to our ways and then things cannot come back. It's not like that. So you got to continue your lifestyle. So that is the gist of what was explained by Anil.
Yes, you summed it up very well, Preeti. And one very important thing in lifestyle also comes our perspective to life, how we respond to life, how we respond to challenges, our thinking. Because, we said interconnectedness. In the interconnectedness, our nervous system is connected to our immune system. Our immune system connected to our hormones connected to our digestion, So if I'm living with ill feelings inside, I'm carrying them.
Yes.
And hatred, competition, jealousy, that's connected to my disease. And if I don't change that, because I'm eating twice in a day, but I'm eating or feeding my biochemistry these such thoughts or any thoughts every millisecond. And thoughts having effect on my biochemistry. So lifestyle also means change in from that level.
Yes.
So it's mental, emotional, spiritual level plus physical level, all complete. We have to see it in a complete way.
All are connected, and for every individual, there is a customized solution or a way of healing in functional medicine.
Yes. And today's talk was kind of introduction about functional medicine and nutrition, the role of nutrition in functional medicine. It is absolutely connected.
Yes.
Because we saw everything is connected. So our body, our cells are being exposed to our environment. Environment is, for a cell, is the food which is reaching it. The thoughts and mainly the food. So if good nutrients are reaching, it will thrive. If incorrect stuff is reaching, it will get sick. Definitely.
Yes.
Not be healthy. So it plays a very, very important role in nutrition for a person who wants to remain healthy. And if unfortunately a person has got compromised in his health, her health, he needs to be much more careful about nutrition, because nutrition will only now going to get that person back to normal.
Yeah.
So we may
So paying more attention.
Yes.
Paying more attention to what we eat also.
Yes, very much. Yeah, very much. So diagnosis of the disease could be one thing. Treatment is carrying on. That's the part of, let's say, doctors. But lots and lots of attention has to go underneath to the nutrition, which is the thoughts and the food being exposed to the unhealthy cells. So like a screen, we can share a screen and explain. So okay, that's so here is a nice car. So this car, I think it belongs to you, Preeti.
I wish.
Okay. But it's not moving. It can't move. There's a problem with it. It has run out of fuel, so it doesn't move.
It doesn't move.
So nutrition. So the car's nutrition is fuel or battery or whatever hybrid car it could be. So similarly, if we cannot provide nutrition to our trillions of cells, our cells will not function optimally. Organs are made of cells. Our organs will not function. It could be the liver, kidney, heart, everything. And nutrition, proper nutrition in proper proportionate of micronutrients generates ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy. Just like we have electricity, energy for our cells to function. And without that, when we see the dreadful flat line in the monitors in the hospital, the cells have stopped making energy. They will not function, nothing will function. So if we are making less energy, so what I'm trying to point out, so this is the very technical aspect of how energy is made in each and every cell in the mitochondria. At the same time, we look at foods as something gross coming in. Yes, so it has lots of role, because from the nutrients we will make neuropeptides, things for our moods, enzymes to digest food. We will make structure for our cells, our bones. So everything is happening from the nutrition. So if the nutrition is wrong, it's the first thing to take care of.
Yes.
I'm sorry for this word. If the nutrition is crap, full of toxins, I am not 100 but 1000% going to be sick, which can be picked up very easily from the biomarkers in my lab work.
Yeah. So when you say yes. Anil, when you say toxic food, or when you say that, like you have to choose the right kind of food, so to our viewers, like we will be talking in detail about what is toxic and how to choose your food, how to choose your ingredients in the upcoming sessions. It will all be discussed in detail.
Yes, which can be put into practice by everyone.
Yes.
and results can be seen. Because that's more important for everyone to see results.
Yeah.
Nutrigenomics around 2-3 decades ago, this is a science coming in, that they have seen that the things in the food, the molecules, they can communicate with our genes.
Yeah.
And very interesting, not only our genes, in our body, in our gut, we have 90 times more genes of the good bacteria, the probiotics. They also communicate with them, and they also communicate with our genes, and they interact, and lots of very important function is done by them.
Yes.
Now, if we feed them, you see, I have control, but they don't have control. They get what we eat.
What we feed them, right?
They can make us thrive, or they can create havoc, allergies, autoimmune disease, lots of problems come up. So food plays predominant role. So food here also means thoughts and gross food, both. Thoughts would play a more important role. Sometimes you'll come across people, you'll see them, they're eating perfectly well, very cautious.
But they're stressed.
But they're stressed, so they will not get healthy. Because food is thrice or 3-4 times, but stress, the thoughts are going in like drip every second. So food here means a bit more, let us get into details. Like, we see the world has just gone after low carb, high carb, low fat.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion out there. Carbs are good, not good.
Yes. So, and calorie counting or calories. So we will get into all that. Yes. That is important. But together with that, I have to be very careful I don't miss out on my fiber. If I'm shifting to a certain kind of very, like control kind of diet, high protein, high fat, let us say, without understanding it properly, without having the guidance of very experienced people, they are missing out on the fiber, and it plays a very important role because fiber is only in the carbs. I'll miss it out. Phytonutrients. Very important thing, chemopreventive, they do tremendous amount of good work inside our body and very necessary. They are nutrients coming from, micronutrients coming from the plants. So if I'm leaving aside the healthy carbs, carbohydrates, I'm missing out on the phytonutrients. I can end up into problems. So we have to understand this in very well. Vitamins and minerals are needed. Water is a nutrient also. Water means plain water. Just plain water.
Okay.
Amino acids, they come from food. Amino acids, water does not mean tea, that's separate, or coffee. Water is plain water and the body to function.
Right.
Amino acids are part of proteins, but we need them with the modern lifestyle. As we said, that everyone's requirement for nutrition is unique. Depending on his lifestyle, some could be needing more. Essential fats, the omegas, they are very important for our cell lining.
And brain function.
And glucose is part of carbohydrates, but still we put it separate there because that glucose and oxygen, together with vitamin minerals, make the ATP in the cells. Yes, fats can also do that, but that is very technical detail talk today. Just that we need these things. Oxygen, without oxygen, energy cannot be made. Everyone knows that. Sunlight, we need to be
very
out.
Important.
Vitamin D need the sunlight. And together with this package comes toxins and pathogens also. So we have to be aware of that.
So what we saw just now is that, like Anil said, fiber is present in carbohydrates. And when we say as a complete plate, which means that there is a good proportion of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, plus fiber. And he also mentioned that water is just plain water. You don't have to have like in any other form. Just plain water, taking ample water, consuming enough water every day is also important for the body. And we also saw about phytonutrients. Phytonutrients comes from plants. So, eating good quality vegetables and fruits also add to a good plate. We saw about omegas, like omega 3 and omega 6. He also explained to us there is a good ratio that needs to be maintained between omega 3 and 6. This we will be seeing in the future sessions, very detailed of like what is the best ratio for maintaining them. And why do we need the omegas? Is for brain function, for the active body function. So the list that you saw previously, which was explained by Anil, these are the basic things that our body needs in various forms of food that we intake on a day-to-day basis. But we will be breaking down this information, and we will talk to you about each and every component, and like what needs to go in what proportion, and where do you find these food in our day-to-day life. So it will be completely simplified by us, so that whenever you go for your grocery shopping or you go for your supermarket, you exactly will know what to pick up and what to put in your plate and what to consume every single day to get a proper nutritious daily diet. Anil, I have a question. Like now, to cover all these points and to include all these important nutrition in our diet, what should be the best diet? Because there's so many diets out there and everybody is so confused, like this diet is good for me or that one is good for me. So which one is the best diet that I should really go in for?
Correct. There's many diets nowadays. And yes, one can say that no one single diet would be the best for everyone. I would say to connect it with the place where he's living, his lifestyle. Today, if he would have to go, let's say he's living in India, south of India, and he goes to the North Pole, he won't be able to thrive on the diet of the south of India, or a person from North Pole can't come here and survive on that diet. So diet is connected to where we are living, how we have grown up. So, and a diet which would, let us say, give us foods which are low glycemic. We will get into the details of that later on, which don't shoot up my sugar and insulin, and glycemic load also is important. Which are anti-inflammatory, they don't cause inflammation in the body, which will excite the immune system, create oxidative damage, and that's the root cause of lots of diseases. So foods which are nutrient dense, we just saw what the nutrients are, vitamins, minerals, everything. So dense in that and low in calories. So this will be explained later on in a very easy manner, which can be operated in the kitchen.
Okay.
And the most important thing is, okay, and the diet which I feel.
What is a GG? What is this GG diet plan? I've never heard of GG diet.
It's very special. There's something very special. I'll let you know. Your carbohydrates, you'll get your fats, proteins, and whatever we saw in the list, everything is available, fresh and real and whole and not damaged. If a person just does that change, believe me, he will see a change in his lifestyle, in his health. Together with, from nature, the way we are taught to think of gratitude, love for everyone, simplicity, humility, and with this kind of diet, definitely there will be a change in his health within 2-3 months. 100%. If someone is sick and under some diet plan, that's a different thing, under doctor's treatment, but otherwise there will be a change which can be measured from his markers and from his weight and his health.
Yes. So,
if anyone is going under some special care and health diet, they should carry on that under the doctor's guidance. One should not just make any serious changes without being in touch with the doctor. That's important.
Right.
So this was what we wanted to share today. Now I just pass it on to you, Preeti.
Yes. So I really hope that you had a very interesting first session where like we tried our best to cover just the basics of it and the very important and crucial topics that's really beneficial for each one of us to incorporate our day-to-day life. So in the coming weeks, we'll dive deep in and we will see like how exactly these look on the plate, because eventually what we are going to put in our mouth is the food. So we will see the connection between what we saw today and what eventually like what we are going to purchase from the market, or like what you're going to source and consume every single day. So I'm trying to simplify it for you by saying that like we will simplify it in very simple terms, like what is good, what is not good, so that you as a person is well informed and to make your best choices for the nutrition that you feed your body.
Wonderful. So we are here to guide and help. Whatever information, education needed will be available so that we can attain and live in a state which is our birthright, to be happy, healthy, and enjoy life.
Okay.
And that's what I wish to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anil, and thank you everyone for watching us. And this is going to be continued in the next session.